In this video, you are going to learn how to build this, a perfectly entire Instagram carousel in minutes. No Photoshop, no Canva, no design team. Just using AI and a workflow that most businesses don't know it exists yet. If you're running a business, you already know the problem. You need content every day. Instagram posts, ads, educational slides, carousel, but creating good visuals like this takes time. Designers are expensive, and most of the people simply don't have the hours to sit designing graphics in any kind of program that they need to learn. So I'm going to show you a system I built that lets you generate these beautiful Instagram carousels using AI step by step for free with tools that you already have at your disposal. Step one, very easy. You're going to find a visual style. For this, you're going to go to Pinterest. Here, you're going to make a simple search, and the keyword is going to be social media feed design. Again, you can look for whatever you want that is going to specialize into your business. You're going to change this into your social media feed design for bakeries, for shoe stores, depending on what you are selling. This is what is going to drive your visual style. This is what you're going to turn into a reusable AI design template. In my case, from all of the different examples I can find in Pinterest, I have selected this style. I like it very much. I like the 3D object, and I like the way that it disrupts the elements. But how can we now generate a visual template that is going to allow us to replicate this over and over again? Well, you're going to right-click on the image and you're going to copy the image. Copy image. And now in a new Gemini chat, you're going to Control-V and you're going to paste that image. And this is the second part of our exercise. We need to add a prompt. I have designed a professional commercial grade level prompt with my master formula, which you can learn by joining my AI mastery class. Right now, this role says, act as a professional visual prompt designer and prompt engineer specialized in AI image generation systems and visual style replication. Now, the task. Analyze the provided social media board post image and describe it in complete visual design. After that, the output structure. Return the results as a structured JSON collection in template mode. The style specification. Within the JSON structure, clearly define all elements as aspect ratio, typography, font families, and more. At the end, I'm adding some limitations as the template models so they can be reusable, and the final JSON output will be used as a visual style guide for NotebookLM deck builder. You are going to find this prompt in the link in the description of the video. Now, let's take a look at how is this power version prompt composed. This is a high-performance prompt structure that is designed for functional blocks to ensure no drift. So the 4 blocks are the role, the task, the output, and the style. We are going to be looking at each one of those. The first functional pillar is the role. Acting as a professional visual prompt designer and prompt engineer, this is the identity layer. That is going to determine the proper behavior according to the specific expert dataset for the personality you're going to be adding to the LLM. Anyone you're going to be using, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, anything you want. The second pillar is the task. In this second pillar, you're going to say, analyze visual sources and describe them as a reusable JSON template. This is going to turn the system into a machine language format, which is going to be easier for the machine to read. So this is going to ensure the generative system can replicate design and be consistent across every generation that it does. After that, you got the output structure pillar. This defines the result as a JSON collection in template mode. This is going to be very easy to understand in just a minute. What I'm saying here is that he's going to give me independent arrays, meaning like little subfolders for every style variation, to be able to manage the layout rules and the composition programmatically when I'm going to build my AI-based graphic designer that is going to be building my content and my slides. After that, we have the style pillar. So this is a very hard constraint because this gives aspect ratio, typography, hierarchy, and it ensures the AI generates placeholders. This is very important because you don't want to always have like the same elements on every graphic design. Only doing this once, you can have it create images for any kind of topic. So basically, if you look at the blueprint that the system, the prompt is going to generate, you're going to see that we have the role, the task, the structure, which is the mode, the arrays, the logic, and the style specification. Take a look that he is describing the typography, the aspect ratio, and the image subject on each one of the styles or variations that we're sending to the LLM. If this is sounding complicated, don't worry, because everything is going to be done by the AI and you're only going to copy and paste the result. This is the power of learning how to prompt properly, that you're able to give these powerful instructions to any artificial intelligence LLM, large language model, and you're able to do a professional commercial grade result. Now that you understand the prompt, we can send it, as I told you before, to any LLM, and he is going to give us a very powerful JSON structure final result that is going to define the system, the visual system. Everything inside of the image is going to be analyzed, like the color palette, the aspect ratio, the visual implementation, the text mapping, everything that you need to give to NotebookLM on the next step to be able to generate your designs. After you have the JSON prompt, make sure to copy it. You can use in Gemini, for example, this little button on the top right of the code window. We copy the entire code, and now we go to NotebookLM. If you don't have a notebook for your brand or for your business, don't worry. I have a powerful video that is going to teach you how to build these notebooks and what is the benefit that you can get from them. You're going to find it around here somewhere. For this example, I want to generate a deck for my visual design social media guide. So this is a notebook where I have a bunch of knowledge about how to make social media content, static social media content. And what we're going to be doing next is we're going to go to the right on the studio area, and we're going to find what it says slide deck. We're going to click this pencil right here in the slide deck card, and he's going to show us a pop-up window. In this pop-up window, we can customize and control how our deck is going to look. For this example, I'm going to use the presented slides. You can experiment with it later. I'm going to select short, and I'm going to leave it at English, but you can select any other language you want. And here is the important part. You're going to paste the JSON structure that my Power Prompt gave you inside of this box down here. And before the JSON, you're going to add a very important instruction. Number one, the focus. So in this case, focus only on the different types of publications we can apply to social media static image post. And the second part, we're going to give him a limitation on the area that he's going to build our content. Make sure the content on each slide is limited to the center in a 1-1 aspect ratio area. Why? Because I want the system to build me a square slides. Notebook is designed to build landscape design. So this is a way in which I'm limiting the system for it to give me always square designs. And we're going to hit generate. After a little while, you're going to be seeing the result right here on the right side of your NotebookLM Studio. It's going to appear like this. When you click on it, you're going to be able to see the preview. And if you click here, expand, now it's going to fill your entire screen. Take a look at this beautiful, perfect design that is giving us about the topic that we ask for. And this is coming only from the specific set of instructions or documents that we gave to this notebook. So we can limit it with anything we want. We can add our menu from a restaurant, for example. We can add our services. We can add anything we want to it because NotebookLM, remember, is limited only to the documents that we are going to give it. So in this specific case, if we go through the notebook, you're going to see he's telling me which are the high converting social publications that we can do. And again, this is based on the knowledge that I gave it. So he's telling me that a single image hook, he's telling me that an educational carousel is very good. He's telling me that a storytelling carousel, and take a look at the image, the graphic is exactly the same as what we had been seeing. It's the same style, the same visual style. I can do this with my current brand, for example. If you have a website, you can use the prompt to be able to extract a JSON instruction of that prompt. And you can use it to generate something that is specifically done for your brand. So he's telling me that I can use conceptual infographics, cultural text graphics. He's telling me that I can make interactive, static, simulated motion in the static feed. He's telling me that the universal law is that I should use 1.1 for carousel static ads. And he's telling me on the final slide that I should deploy the static arsenal to match the format to the objective. Take a look at this. This is so important. He's actually telling me that video is for pure reach and discoverability, carousels to maximize deep engagement, launch infographic to dominate safe shares and algorithmic authority, and enforce the 1.1 center focus across all visual assets. So this is not only a cute graphic. This is actually useful because he's being extracted from knowledge that I gave it from the top researchers and top creators and top studies these years on visual design for social media on a static post. Again, I have several videos about how to do this, how to build your own brains. So subscribe, leave a like if this is being useful to you. And remember, I have social media channels in every social network. But what happens if I want to change something? For example, here on slide 5, I can see that he actually used the entire slide to deploy this graphic. And I want all of the graphics to be only in a 1.1 system. Also, I don't like the butterflies. Actually, NotebookLM now lets you revise these slides. So the way you do it is you're going to click on this button that says revise on the top right, and you're going to add the changes that you want. In my case, make sure the content on the slides, including the notes, call to actions on any annotation or visual element, is limited to the center in a 1.1 aspect ratio square area. And remove the butterflies because I don't like them. As you can see here, this is kind of important. You're going to be seeing something that says pending changes. And he's going to show you which slide are you making the change to. So when you go ahead and revise different slides, he's going to create a new deck, but is only going to change the slide that you commented on. This is super cool because it actually saves a lot of time not generating the entire deck again. In my case, I only want to change slide number 5. So I click Generate New Deck. It took about a minute because I'm only doing one slide, right? In this case, I can see that the system did not limit the design to a square area, but it did remove the butterflies. But I'm going to teach you a little trick. If you copy this image and you take it to Gemini and you paste it, just Ctrl-V paste it, make sure that you're using the thinking mode and the create image system, and you can say, make an aspect ratio 1:1 version of this image, keeping all of the elements, text, and notations, while distributing the space and elements to fill the space properly. Now he's going to use Nano Banana 2 to develop an image that is going to be a square, and you're going to be able to use this inside of your presentation. No problem at all. So if you have 1 or 2 slides that are going rebel on you, this is a good way to fix it. I am very sure that they will very soon implement this aspect ratio inside of NotebookLM, since it's getting to be one of the most powerful and useful tools right now inside of your AI arsenal. Let's take a look at another example. In this case, I have a YouTube specialist that is based on the Think Media YouTube videos and many other things that talk about storytelling. So I told him to please give me a set of slides that were going to focus in the best practices and storytelling techniques for YouTube videos. And this is the result it's giving me. Very clear, very clean, and beautifully done inside of all the content. As you can see, we have the same thing as before. Some of the slides are going a little bit out of my region, but we can always fix it with the techniques that we have been discussing here. After you finish revising and setting up your system, you can just come and download this as a PDF or as a PPTX file. You can also share only the presentation, copying the link to the slides, and this is going to allow you to send it to anybody that you want, and they're going to be able to copy those images. So, for example, if you have a media manager or a community manager, they're going to be able to take these slides without any hassle. And if you don't have any technical expertise at all and you want to turn these into images, you can just download this as a PowerPoint, and you can use Google Slide to crop the presentation into a 1:1 aspect ratio and export those slides as images that you can simply go and publish on your Instagram or any other social media channel that you have. Inside of the NotebookLM system, we have a lot more to see. Many functions in their studio are going to be useful for us, not only to make content, but also to train our team, making videos, making explainer videos, making videos of presentations, decks, and infographics for our clients, admin and fulfillment roles, and many more stuff that are going to be super useful for you. But we're going to be seeing each one of these functions in their own respective video because they are so useful that they're going to actually be very valuable for you and your business. With what you learned today, you don't have to spend hours designing ever again. Think about it. You can generate entire educational carousels in minutes instead of depending on a graphic designer. You can control the entire creative system yourself. And once that you create one style template, you can reuse it forever, for free. Different topics, different posts, same visual identity. This is how small teams start producing content like a full media department. So now if you want the prompts, the templates, and extract the system I used to build these workflows, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I create useful tools using AI technology for your business to be automated. We're going to be seeing prompt engineering, automated content production, and much, much more. Also, tell me in the comments what kind of tool are you missing inside of your business. Maybe we can build it together inside of this channel. As I always say, be creative, go build yourself a professional graphic designers. Be good, and I will see you later.